Impact Podcast. This is episode 14. You know what I'm saying? Doubling up from episode 13. We had my man Jones on there talking about Black ownership, Black awareness. This episode, we got two new guests. They just launched their new clothing line, so we're going to get into that. We're going to talk about a couple of other things too, you know what I'm saying? But we just want to spread all this awareness to anything Black owned, just continue to promote our people because that's what's important right now. So with no further ado, you know what I'm saying? Let's get this episode started, boys. How y'all feeling?
Hey, another day. Let's get it.
It's early, but we're going to get to it.
It is early. You know what I'm saying? It is early, but you know what I'm saying? The early bird gets the worm. That's what they said.
Thanks.
All right. So Flawed reality, you know what I'm saying? Let's talk about that. I mean, me, I'm a customer now, you know what I'm saying? I really appreciate the quality of it, but
Yes.
let's talk about the origin, you know what I'm saying? Like, how did y'all come up with that name, and what was the idea behind coming up with the clothing line to begin with?
Yeah, so I think we've always been into fashion. I think like when we talk on certain stuff, usually you got your fashion, you got your sports, you got your females. Those usually the main three, the core three you're gonna go with.
Big three for sure.
So yeah, when you going with that Miami Heat, you know what I'm saying?
Right, big three, yes sir.
Yeah, when you going with that, then you always gonna kind of lock in on something. So we always like send each other different pictures of clothing lines, and we've been doing that for years now. So it's just like at this point, like Rona hit, times was getting hard.
Right.
Job situation was getting tough. So I kind of just was seeing people hustle, and I was like, man, what are we good at? Or like, what am I good at to like get outside the box for real, for real? And then we kind of locked in on fashion. It was just like, if not now, then when? You know what I'm saying? So Trump bucks hit. You know what I'm saying?
When the Trump bucks, you know what I'm saying? The MAGA money, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But now, when you get that extra money, you feel a little more free because it's like it's not necessarily my money, But if it's my money, it's like I'm a little tighter with that. So that's probably why we hadn't done it before, because you don't know what it takes to like actually invest in the clothing line. It's like, man, just to do one shirt, nevertheless 3, and then some shorts. It's like a big investment. It's like, man, if this doesn't pan out, then like I'm in the hole a couple G's, and it's like we grown a couple G's can do some things. So it's just like, yeah, we actually gonna invest in it. I think during Corona, we was just feeling, I went through this phase of feeling flawed. I just went through this phase of depression, feeling down. And I think I was just like in a funk. And like we were still working out like at least once every like 2 days. So every other day. And like that was really keeping us sane for real, because we both were going to grad school, and it was like, that was our little break. So I was just in before one of the workouts, I was like, yo, I'm trying to launch a clothing line. You trying to do it with me? And then he was like, yeah, what you thinking? And I said, I got this word flawed stuck in my head. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if it's going to be flawed, but I think it needs another word to it. And then he came through and said, reality. And then from there, it's a wrap.
Dope. I was telling Tay about it. I really like the concept behind the flawed reality, because I think really like life itself is, it is flawed, in all aspects. So it's very interesting to see how y'all played with that and then, used it to kind of promote or build a clothing line. I think that's actually amazing. I really do fuck with it. And I think also when you start something, the name is like the hardest part. That's the hardest part. Like when I started the podcast, I was like, I don't know what I want it to be. I don't know why, but I just felt like Subtle Impact just kind of, it just resonated with me. So I feel like, when you bouncing off ideas, as soon as you hear it, you're like, yep, that one's going to go. Like, so I think, but Flaw Reality, I feel like it really just, it resonates with so many things that's currently going on and will always resonate. I think y'all could really, as the brand grows, people going to really be like, I understand. Like, not only am I buying the clothes because I like the way it looks aesthetically, but I like what the actual meaning of it stands for. You know what I'm saying?
And see, that's what I'm saying. The whole meaning is the biggest part of it, right? So I feel like everybody has their own flaws, right? But I feel like a lot of people try to run away from them or hide behind them or are ashamed of them. So our whole thing is about pretty much embracing your flaws, right? So that's how we launched in this whole new initiative called Flawed Fridays, where every Friday we're going to try to like help people embrace their flaws more and more. Okay. And that's us putting like a motivational video, quote, us doing lives and you coming in, discussing your flaws and us discussing how we can help you embrace them out, how pretty much we're all flawed.
I love that. That's a good idea.
Reality. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
nah,
saying?
that's a good idea right there, man. Because also to Meech's earlier point, depression is something people suffer from even prior to this COVID shit. So with this COVID shit, it makes it even worse to a certain degree. You know, people just in the house, confined, can't really go outside and do other things to take their mind off whatever they might be thinking about. So it is important to have those outlets of, okay, you know what, you can come here. This is a safe space to talk about, you know, how you feel, and you know,
Exactly.
nobody will judge you. So that's a good thing y'all doing. I fuck with that. So my next question was, with with the name. Okay, so where do you go from there? Like, is it design, as in logo design, or is it, what's the marketing approach going to be? Like, what was your next step after like you got locked in on what the actual name for the brand was going to be?
Yeah, now I think logos is a tricky thing because you want a logo that stands out, but also we in like a simplistic society right now. We're simple sells right now. So you want something that's simple.
Yeah.
So I wanted to do multiple kind of logos so we didn't get kind of stuck into one thing. So we can always kind of play around with it.
Yeah.
I think having the name Flawed Reality, like we can get into so many different flaws, so many different surface level things, you know, whether it's physical, whether it's mental, you know, and we can kind of do a lot of different campaigns. I think that's kind of the thing that's going to separate us in the streetwear industry. Is kind of like we're putting out clothes, quality clothes, nevertheless, but we want people to connect to it. We're trying to build that brand, that family atmosphere, because everyone has flaws. We just choose to embrace ours.
I agree
And
with
my
that.
big thing is like a lot of people have clothing lines. And I feel like a lot of people are definitely shopping us because our clothes are quality, but I feel like people are buying into our message. You know, I feel like that's what we really trying to push, is that message, that family, like Meech said, that community, you know.
And that's why I was saying earlier, I feel like it's important, you know, for the name to stand for something and actually mean something, not just, you know, like, you know, back to Meech's point, we live in a simplistic world now, but you know, things could be catchy and not really mean anything. But when it actually has substance and it actually ties to a, you know, a message, I think that that's really important. But the three or whatever, how many ever logos it is, that's also a good approach to it. So this way you're not just stuck in one box. You know, you can branch out to different, and you can play with different things too that way. So I mean, nonetheless, I think that's really dope. So going from the name to the actual logo of it, what was, like, in terms of clothing, what did you set out for it to be? Like, did you only want to initially just, you know, do something, just start with shirts and shorts or hoodies or whatever it may be? Like, where was the where was the thought process in the actual clothing itself?
So I think to start, we knew like, okay, we want to do shirts. Shorts kind of came about because it was like we originally just wanted shorts to kind of complement it for like a lookbook photo shoot. And then we got a lot of good feedback on the shorts and was like, okay, now I guess we got to do some actual shorts.
Right.
But for the shirts, we didn't really know how many to do. It just happened that 3 came about. We have like a journal and we have so many ideas. So trying to narrow it down. So we knew we kind of wanted to give everyone a little, you know, something different for them. So we had like the shirt you're wearing now, which is the more simplistic approach. It's a clean look.
Right.
Growing up, I've always loved character logos and different images like that, but not everyone's into that. So you see the shirts me and Tay have. One's a little bigger with the character logo. One's a little more subtle. So we kind of wanted to add that to it and kind of just get a lot of feedback. I think colors, we wanted like different tones. You know, you can't go wrong with black. You got the cream, you got the white. So
For
simplistic before we branch out into different colors. We kind of were really inspired by like Kanye and all that oversized heavyweight material. And we really wanted to put some out quality that, you know, even though it's heavyweight, you can still wear it in the summer, but, you know, it's getting cooler in the fall. You're still good then. So it covers you pretty much.
I was actually going to say that, like, you know, you could wear the shirts, at least, you know, you could wear them even in the fall, like, you know, because like you said, it's an oversized shirt, but it's not like, you know, it's not skimp with the material. So, you know what I'm saying? It's going to keep you, you know what I'm saying? You're going to have enough on you to not be too cold. But I was just about to ask you guys, what was y'all, or who's y'all inspiration design wise? And I heard you mention Kanye. So you, when you look at Kanye's clothing line and his brand that he's created with the Yeezy brand, is that what you guys utilize as like inspiration in terms of design and like structure, or do you have other inspirations, you know, in terms of that as well?
So I think a big thing is Kanye's quality to his clothing. his quality is always A1. When you buy his stuff, you know you're paying for quality. And I want you to have that same sort of feel whenever you cop our product. You're not just buying some sort of skimp. You know what I mean? You get that from anywhere, low bottom of the market type clothing. You know what I mean? So I feel like definitely with him as well, he experiments a lot. And I feel like I don't want to just get caught in like doing some basic stuff, having basic designs, basic this, basic. I want to experiment, like we said, try different colors, try different flavors of the shirt, try different designs, and move like that. So I feel like we don't really have a set logo right now because we have so many different, like we said, we have a huge journal, just straight ideas. Yeah. So when you said like, what was our first idea? Was it shirts and shorts? Like when we started, we was already shooting for like years to come with the designs we have. Gotcha. So I feel like we starting right now, but we already have pretty much mapped out what we want to be.
Okay. And see, so I was actually going to talk about, well, that was one of my questions, but the uniqueness of the brand, right? Like now it separates y'all because most brands have, you know, like one logo and you just rock with that and you push it. But I think, me personally, multiple logos is going to make you unique regardless, because not a lot of people do that. I mean, you know, not a lot of big brands, I should say, do that. So like that in itself is going to make your brand unique. And my question to y'all was going to be, you know, what separates y'all's fashion line or clothing line from others? You know, so if you care to speak to that, you can. But I think already we kind of touched on a little bit of it. Like you're already thinking the foresight is there. And then also just having the multiple different logos is just always going to kind of, you know, it's going to give you like somewhat of an advantage to kind of play with different styles and whatnot.
Right. Yeah. Now, I definitely think we're both students of the game pretty much. We done followed, you know, the Supremes, the Kifs, the Stussies, all that kind of stuff. So we've seen them kind of grow and where they've gone. And then, you know, we want to take our own little twist to it. So we definitely want to be in the streetwear industry. I think sometimes people push streetwear and luxury, and you can do both definitely. But I think when you try to do luxury, your competition, you're competing with the Gucci's and all that kind of stuff. And that's not where we are. We're not really trying to compete. Okay. With that. I think the streetwear is where we want to be. I love that culture. We kind of grew up in that culture.
Yes, sir.
I think the limitedness part, you know, like it's a program, you know, when Supreme drops every Thursday at 11, it's programmed. That's where we want to eventually get it to where we have our set day, you know, like, and especially with the limited quantities, you know, it's for special people, for flawed people, everyone, you know, we all got flaws, but that quantity, I want you to feel unique when you're wearing our stuff. So everyone's not going to have it. So that's definitely something we took, and we definitely want to stick to that. And then just the uniqueness. We're going to challenge ourselves each time to come out with different ideas. So once something's gone, it's gone. So it's like, I missed out on this shirt. It's like, got to get the next one, you know?
Yeah, that's a good approach.
Black crowd, yeah.
I like that. So do you think that, you know, with the limited quantity approach, like that's a good approach, honestly. Do you think that's going to get people more, like the anticipation for it is gonna grow? Cause it's like, oh, like, you know, I have to, if I don't do it, if I don't get it now, then I won't get it, you know? Like, do you think that approach is gonna get you more, you know, clientele and get you more attention?
I think that's gonna get us more just off the fact that people want what they can't have, right? So if you see something that you could have had, but now you can't, it's like, damn, I'll make sure for the next time I'm gonna have that.
For sure.
So we kind of want to build that buzz, build that anticipation. I bet it's going to bring us more clientele. Of course, we're going to have limited numbers, so it might single some people out. Right. But if you come and you're a real supporter, you're going to have it.
Yeah, you're going to have it for sure. Yeah, that's a good approach. Honestly, I think that the way the business, like streetwear and then luxury, like, or just fashion, like I feel like do you feel like to a certain degree Kanye has created like a hybrid of streetwear and, like, you know, fashion, like he's bridged that gap?
Yeah, definitely. I think high fashion streetwear is a real thing. Like,
right.
You know, it's bridge. You see so many different brands now doing different stuff, where you got Virgil working with Nike and doing stuff like that. You know, where it's cool to just wear Nike with whatever his design is, off-white, and you just have that with a check on it and you're good to go. So I think it's kind of finding the mix. You know, the celebrities are the athletes these days. You know what I'm saying? So
seriously.
Yeah. So
because that Instagram shit is a monster, dog. Like, you know what I'm saying? You follow your favorite athlete and you just, you know, you checking to see what they got on.
Shout out League Fits.
Yeah, man, they be wow, man. PJ Tucker, man, shout out to you, man. If this comes across you, dog, like you be killing it. Like that nigga is just. I mean, it's funny too. Like I be looking at certain fits. Like niggas now, like really rock the short shorts. You know what I'm saying? Like that used to be old, like Wilt Chamberlain. You know what I'm saying? Like niggas had the baggy short when Bron first came in the league. It was like a baggy short type of thing. Now wearing short shorts way above the kneecap. I'm like, wow, like that's crazy. But to your point, I do think that streetwear is now it's kind of getting merged in there with high fashion, and I think that's dope, honestly, because at the end of the day, high fashion at the end of the day is just it's you associate the price with the brand name. You know what I'm saying? Gucci is this. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, like your shit could be you could price it at that, and if someone determines that your shit is that valuable, they're gonna buy it. Like so, there really is no, you know, to me, there's no like, oh, this is higher fashion than the other. Like at the end of the day, it's all a price. At the end of the day, Dolce & Gabbana, all of this shit, Balenciaga, niggas is gonna set the price because they know the demand is there. They know niggas is gonna buy it regardless.
Exactly.
All right, let me get into my next question, man. If you guys could partner up with one person in the fashion world, who would it be? Besides Kanye, if that's what you was gonna say, because I feel like we talked about him enough. So if it was somebody else, who would you partner up with and why?
I feel like Virgil. Like, even though Virgil has, like, he went out kind of sad this summer with the $50 donation, all that, like, you know, feel me? But yeah, now that was ugly for him. But
yeah, it was.
Anybody in the fashion world, I think Virgil. I feel like he's really versatile. Seeing him with Louis Vuitton, seeing him with Nike, seeing him with anything, which just by himself.
Okay.
It's fire.
True. And he's black. You know what I'm saying? So like, you know, I rather put the money where in the black community or with a black person than anything at this point. But okay, so Virgil, but why? Like, what about him makes you so attracted to working with him?
I feel like Virgil. Let's keep it like Virgil really started from like real life the bottom out. We really like watched Virgil's process as he kept elevating himself.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like he kind of started where we're starting at right now, with like just a dream. Not like we real life watched him elevate himself to a point where now he's the creative director for Louis Vuitton.
Right.
And it's like, dang, like that's everyone's in the fashion world's biggest dream right there, to be like a huge high fashion like creative director.
True. So his grind and his story pretty much is like very parallel and just similar to y'all. So that would make you want to work with him because you feel like he could. Do you feel like, this is a side note, but do you feel like when people finally get to that spot that you were saying, like where they aim to be, they start to forget where they came from and they no longer are as relatable as they once were?
I could definitely see that with a lot of people, but I feel like you gotta kind of have to like segregate that. Do we want to, when we get to the top level, do we still want to have the same mindset that we had when we was down below?
Right.
You know, and if that's the question, then you don't want to have the same mindset. But do you want to change your whole persona? You know what I mean? As you elevate? No, because if people gonna call you fake, people gonna say you're Hollywood. So definitely keep true to your values and who you are. When you get the money, you get that check, you get that dream job. Mm-hmm. But still understand you do have to elevate your mindset.
That's a fact. The reason I ask that is because, like, you know, even just, you know, work, whether you have your own multimedia brand or you have a clothing brand or you have a podcast or you have whatever it may be, when you want to start networking and partnering with somebody, you know, that's made it, you want them to understand like your vision or see where you coming from. But I feel like I feel like a lot of times it's hard for people to even come back down to that reality of where we're at, because once you made it into those rooms, into those conversations, a lot of the things that we talking about aren't even on your radar until we bring it to you. So, you know, there's plenty of people who probably want to work with Virgil, and it's unfortunate because, like, realistically, he might not even have the time or like the financial ability to put all his money in all these companies that want to work with him, which is unfortunate. But I do think it's important for people to still stay level grounded and remember where you came from, because there's somebody out there with the same vision that you once had. So, you know, the goal is for me, like, when things elevate and everything starts to get exposed and people see what, you know, what the brand is about and what the purpose is for, you can buy into it at some way, whether it's financially, whether it's you just emotionally connecting with it, whether it's you, whatever. It doesn't have to be, you know, always financial, but I really do hope that, you know, people are not getting too above themselves to the point where you're not trying to reach out. Cause like I take Griselda, for instance. I don't know if y'all niggas listen to Griselda, but they do this thing where they like, it's like a cipher for rappers. And it's like, if like any rapper, like you basically rap and then, you know, Benny will DM you. Actually, Tay, Benny DM'd Zay about it. I don't know if he followed up, but like he basically said, yo, I heard your shit. Let's work. And that's dope. You know what I'm saying? Just like imagine if Virgil hits you and is like, yo, let's like, I seen your pay, like let's work. Like that would be dope. It shows me you're still in touch. You know what I'm saying? So that's basically what I just hope for, because I feel like people get a little too above themselves at times.
That's facts.
All right. So my next question for y'all, well, we kind of talked about uniqueness, but what do you, in terms of strategy for separating yourselves from the rest of the competition, if you even view it as that, what's the approach to kind of, you know, be different and just have a different purpose?
Right. So I think a lot of it is just not overthinking stuff, overcomplicating things. I think at the end of the day, it's just clothes. You know, the materials we use definitely can separate us from other brands, because you definitely feel the quality in the material. But we're going to try different materials from time to time. So it might work here, it might not work there. Everyone has different preferences. I know, like with the oversized shirts, everyone's not a fan. You know, it was finding the right size for you, etc. Some people like more tight fitting stuff, you know. So I thought this was like a safe bet going, because when you think about flaws, you know, a big flaw is body types. And I feel like this, you know, kind of hides different body types. You know, if you want to hide something, perfect for bigger people, you know, smaller people, skinnier people, not necessarily, but if you downsize, you're good. You get more of that standard fit, but it's kind of more of a comfortable fit, you know? So I think that's going to be just one of the big things. Building that family is something that we really got to work on. And I think that's what separates us, that community, you know, who our following is. If you build that loyal following, the people that feel like they're your actual family, you'll be good. You know, you look back to like when people were camping out for, whether it's I'm just use Supreme, Kith, all those kind of brands. Like when they first started, you could walk in there, you know, before they got major, you know, and just chilling there all day, you know, that kind of family, you know, the hundreds, that kind of stuff, where it was just chill. You had a street with just a bunch of different streetwear brands, and kids would just hang out there. You know, we want that kind of, you know, eventually, you know, if a storefront happens, you don't necessarily need them now, but I kind of want a place where people could just chill. You know, the youth, you can teach people how to, you know, create their own stuff. So if you connect with the youth, you connect with, you know, the Flawed is what we're calling them now, but we'll be good. So I think that's just where we got to lock in. The clothes, I don't necessarily worry about that. It's just building those relationships.
Okay. So let me ask you this. Do you look at a following at like, do you want that? Would you rather have the cult like following or like, you know, true fan, like, because you know how there's hives now, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you got the Future hive, you know, Beyonce, things of those nature, Kanye. But would you rather have that or just like, you know, just passionate fans? I think there's a difference. I don't know if y'all feel that way, but I definitely know there's some people who will, in those hives, that will go to extreme lengths to, you know, support their brand or their person. So I just want to know, like, how do y'all feel about that as you gain attention and attraction?
I feel like we probably don't want that cult feel, but we do want people who are going to go hard for us. We do want people who are going to go hard for this message, who are going to be able to pass this message along, you know? So I feel like you said a little earlier, social media is a whole different beast. And it really is. Social media could take your business to heights you never thought you could get to. So I feel like us starting right here, right now, we trying to like experiment and see which sort of marketing really works, whether it's emails, but do people still check their emails? Who really knows? Whether it's social media like Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. And I feel like that's where that's pretty much where our demographic of age is. They're all on social media. They're checking that every second. So it's kind of like staying on top of that and making sure that they stay consistent with that message.
Okay. Okay. I think it's a thin line between passionate fans and like the cult like following, like, you know, because I think you could be super passionate about something that you get carried away with the emotion, but you could also be a rational person and say, you know what, I love these dudes, you know, that they got caught up in a scandal. I'm not just going to say fuck it, excuse me, just because I love them. And it's like, oh, well, I love Tay and Meech's clothing line and their purpose, but I heard they got caught up in this. So, but I'm still going hard for them. Like, I feel like the passionate is scary because you tread a thin line, because the cult like following, you know, though people will go to extreme lengths to say anything and support anything that somebody does that they feel that passionate about. So, you know, but that's important. I agree. Like, because social media, you know, uh, I mean, I have different feelings about social media. You know, I struggle with it, me personally, you know, because although I run a podcast and I have a multimedia brand that I'm trying to build, I'm not very social media savvy. Like, I don't really do things to show other people. Like, I like to live in the moment. I like to, so it's hard sometimes finding that like your niche to make social media work for you, you know? And that's what people got to understand. You got to make social media work for you and not work for social media. So, you know, that's just my take on it. But that is important. Like you said, I mean, once you let social media kind of run, not let it run, but like once you get on there and it starts to, you know, populate and starts to kind of, you start catching traction, you never know where it could take you. The heights are unlimited.
That's facts.
All right, fellas, I got a couple more questions for y'all. How y'all feeling? Y'all good though? Everything good?
Yeah, just waking up. It's an early morning, baby.
We get into it. Trying to wake up. It's football Sunday. We're gonna be all right.
It is football Sunday, man. You know what I'm saying? Hey, shout out to my Washington football team out there, all the fans. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out Chase Young, Pilates Prep. You feel
Shout
me?
out to Chase, man. Hey, man. Hey, you know what I'm saying? If you run across this, you know what I'm saying? We used to, you know, go to the same school. That was cool. That's crazy, man. That's really crazy. Wow. Damn. And I mean, bro, like, he wasn't even that big in high school. You know what I'm saying? That nigga's huge.
He was a small dude in high school.
He was like, bro, what the fuck did niggas be eating? Like, I'm really confused. But nah, shout out to Chase, man. Let's go get this dub against the Cardinals. Meech, who's your team? You like this?
No, I like the Giants.
Unfortunately.
I like the Giants. We good. We good money though.
Unfortunately.
Danny Dimes, we looking good today. We going into Chirac. We be all right.
Good Lord. The Giants. Right. I thought the Washington football team was as worse as it could get, but the Giants is, I mean, that's down there with the Browns, man.
I kind of like the whole, we let the Chase Young thing slide, but it's like, how did, you know, Flawed, y'all need something to hold sometimes, you know what I'm saying? Like, he didn't go, he graduated from DeMatha, so I just be lost.
But he didn't go there, though. You know what I'm saying? He did go there.
I feel like, it's like, that's where he made his living. That's where he made
the big buck, you know for sure. You know what I'm saying? But hey, man, you know what I'm saying? We were happy to have him. You know what I'm saying?
We're happy to have him. We're happy to say that we groomed him for the map.
Right, exactly.
You know? That's it.
Hey, man, pray for Saquon. Let me just end this with pray for Saquon, man. Ain't nobody blocking out there for him, man.
He got 100 yards in him tonight.
I don't know why I drafted him for fantasy. That was an awful choice.
Did you get him? Oh.
That O-line is sad.
It's 1 week.
That O-line is I saw all I needed in the 1 week. I saw it. I saw all I needed. All right, fellas, let's get back to it. So do y'all plan to partner with any local brands, you know, to expand your business? You know, what's the approach there?
So I think one brand we do want to partner with is Hand Paints at Lomax. He's a local artist around the area. He paints different bags. He makes painting right here.
Yeah.
Shout out to Hand Painted Rail, OG, Nosotros. Shout out to my dude.
Yes, sir. We'll tag him. Yes, sir. That's dope. Yeah, nah, he's fire. I really like what he got going on. Different.
Yeah, so I feel like, you know, if we can find a way to partner like a bag with times Flaw reality or a paint times Flaw reality.
We need that Telfair bag, bro. We need it.
Yo. Yes.
I saw. I think you posted that. Yeah, you reposted it. That was hard. Yeah, and I mean, he's very talented, man. I mean, yeah, shout out to him. So that's dope. And you know what? That kind of brings me back to myself, at least. Like, I like to keep things inclusive, you know, and that's somebody that you know what I'm saying. That's your man. So like to keep it inclusive and then grow also, like that's dope. Like, you know, that's always good. Like even this, you know what I'm saying? Like I do a podcast, you have a brand, like let's partner together and like let's let it grow and let it do its own thing. But it's good to do these things, you know, early on too, because you know it's organic. But okay, so okay, you want to partner with him, and do you think that if you were to do it, what would be your reasoning? Would just be because you feel like, you know, his art is dope, or what's your reasoning behind partnering with him specifically, if no one else?
I mean, we definitely been following him for a while. We personally know him, so you got that there. But I think something we're really trying to tap into is that female audience. We got a lot of good female support from this first drop, but it was more catered toward males was the feedback we were getting, you know, just with the oversized look. Most females really could only get extra smalls, maybe smalls, just depending, you know, and the fit was really, they didn't know. So I think, you know, towards our next drop, we want to cater to our women, but more so, I think a bag, we want to get in that specialty item phase. You know, we don't know exactly where, but something you use on a daily basis to stand out in. Okay. These days, girls got like 20 bags. You know what I'm saying? They be in their bag with it. So if we have like, you know, a custom little joint, I think that can definitely, you know, make us stand out. So that's where we want to go next. We need that collab though.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I'm actually looking to partner with him on some podcast shit. But yeah, I'm gonna get at him, you know, off air, of course. But he's dope. That would be a very dope collab. I think the specialty items is a good approach too. Because like you said, I mean, you know, people gotta understand, man. Once you get the woman audience, it's a different, you know what I'm saying? It's a different beast. That's what you really want. You know, shout out to all the niggas, you know what I'm saying? Like, of course, we rock with y'all, but like the ladies, once the ladies start, because at the end of the day, ladies sell things. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's all.
They sell and they buy nonstop.
Sell and buy, you know what I'm saying?
Fashion Nova. All that.
I was literally just about to say that, bro. Fashion Nova. I mean, Fashion Nova's got these joints just on payroll, like it's unlimited. You just like, I mean, wow, what a business model, honestly. But enough of them. But I will just say, to your point, it's important to get the lady audience, you know, gravitating towards your shit. So that's a good approach right there, man. I fuck with that. Well, you know,
definitely shoot our shot at if we need to get a female ambassador. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, definitely. Sir, man. Damn, and see. Like I said, you know, because niggas will just follow joints. You know, you don't know them or whatever. But, I mean, they look good. You know, you just respect. You know, I see you, baby. I see you out there doing your thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to see what you're wearing, too. You know what I'm saying? So it's smart to get a female ambassador. Very smart.
And my whole thing is, like, we don't want, like, this, you know, stereotypical Fashion Nova model. Like, our whole thing is Flawed reality. So, you know, I mean, we welcome everybody. We welcome the Flawed. We welcome everybody to come be a part of this reality.
Right. Yes. We love everyone. So if like there was one person I could pick, I don't know, he might have someone else. Like if I'm shooting my shot right now, come work for Flawed Reality. We're gonna sponsor you. Winnie Harlow. Need you.
Winnie. Yo, Winnie, get at them. You know what I'm saying? Flawed Reality. This is Subtle Impact Podcast, Subtle Impact TV. Like get at them.
She fits everything we looking for.
Okay. Yeah, she's got that look.
How she just owns
her flaws. Yeah.
It's not even a flaw at this point. Look at how big of a star she is. It doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? So someone that can just embrace something, you know, a few years ago, it'd be fully covered up. You know, you would probably never see something like that. And she's herself. She's free spirited.
That's true.
It's great energy, you know. That's so true. Something like that.
How you feel about like Lizzo, if you were to partner with her, you know what I'm saying?
We would love it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't want to put niggas on the hot seat. I'm thinking that, you know what I'm saying? Because she owns her weight, you know, like the body. Like, I know.
I was just about to say Lizzo, too. So I feel like she's taking, like, you know, that whole community of women who are a little bigger and helping them embrace themselves.
I see Lizzo losing weight, though.
Own it.
Losing some weight.
But the thing is, she's owning it and she's trying to be healthy at the same time.
Sure.
And I respect, you can always respect that. You know what I'm saying? You always got to respect somebody, like, trying to do better for themselves.
Exactly.
Okay. All right.
Lizzo, Winnie Harlow, holla at Flawed Reality.
That's what I was about to say. In conclusion, Winnie Harlow and Lizzo, you know, get at the boys. You know what I'm saying? And then come on the podcast too. You know what I'm saying? Let's talk some shit. You know what I'm saying? I love that. All right. Two more questions for y'all. Let's see which one I want to do. All right. So if you could describe the brand in 2 words, How would you describe? What 2 words would you use to describe it? It's all right. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna come with the first word and let me come to the upper joint. I'm gonna come with
excuse me.
Upscale.
Upscale. Like it. Classy.
Okay. I feel like I gotta have a word that kind of matches that now.
Right.
Upscale.
You don't want anything lesser than that. Yeah, nah. But just, whatever comes to mind. Upscale is nice though. Good word. Good word.
I was gonna say unique.
Unique. Okay. So upscale and unique. 2 U's. All right. You know what I'm saying? That's dope. A reason I asked that is because I feel like when somebody asks you to describe yourself, like you don't really think of yourself like that. So like, I mean, it'll throw you off. So I felt like that question was going to throw you off. So I wanted to see what y'all would say. And especially in the spur of the moment, you could tell like, all right, this is genuine. So upscale and unique is dope. I will personally say from what I've bought and seen, I would agree with those 2 things. Unique, I definitely agree. And upscale, I also agree. And that the upscale part to me is very interesting. I wouldn't say interesting. It's important because it's like the whole streetwear, high fashion that we was talking. Like you could be upscale and still be streetwear. At this point, and it's not. To me, you don't have to separate the 2. They can go one and the same in a certain sense. So, no, shout out to y'all for actually taking the time to focus on that and make it all come to fruition. I definitely
feel like, yeah, you're right. That definitely does throw people off because no one just sits here like, okay, what's 2 words to describe me for the next time somebody asks me?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Exactly. Like if somebody asked me 2 words to describe my podcast, I wouldn't know how to describe it off rip. Yeah. So I knew that would kind of catch off guard a little bit, but that's good. I like those 2 words. Y'all actually took a little bit of time, not too much, you know what I'm saying? So it felt like, it was in the spur of the moment, but good.
What's 2 words you use to describe your podcast?
I would say, I would hate to say impactful because impact is in the word, but I would like to say impactful because I feel like any episode or any person I've had come on here, like I felt like there was a purpose. I've done artist profiles, I've done episode to promote Black businesses and bring Black awareness to everything that we got going on. I've done just fun episodes, you know what I'm saying, just talking my shit. And then I've also done tributes. I did a Nipsey episode. So, I think if you really sit down and go through my catalog, it's impactful. And then the second word I would use for it is organic. It's organic. A lot of this is, you know what I'm saying? A lot of this stuff that I do is like, I write, you know what I'm saying? I come prepared, you got to be prepared in life, but it's just, once it starts rolling, I'm just ready, and it's just it's a conversation. I've always loved conversation. So I knew that podcast for me was just like, it's therapeutic. You know what I'm saying? Like, feels like therapy to me, honestly. I like talking to people of substance. And I feel like it's organic because I don't ever talk to anybody with intention. Like, oh, like, you could benefit my podcast if you come on. Like, I try to keep it organic and just natural and trying to keep everything with good vibes, you know what I'm saying? So organic and impactful, man. I think that's how I would describe it. Good question though. All right, man, I got one more question for y'all boys. If you could tell the people listening a couple things about yourselves and the brand, what would you say?
I really think just understanding the story, how it came about. We kind of touched on it, but going back, we've known each other, since 6th, 7th grade? Yeah. So like how it was kind of built, it was built like brothers kind of built this joint up, but more so like what time it kind of came out of. It came out of, Rona. We're going to look back on Rona and it's in the history books. And it's kind of like, it is.
It is. We're part of history.
It's like, what did you do in Rona? Like, you're going to tell your kids, you're going to tell people, and like really wanted to come out of Rona stronger, a lot of people going back, a lot of people blowing that unemployment on Birkins. They blowing it on bags. They blowing it on whatever. I don't know if you get a Birkin for unemployment, but like you can definitely get some nice stuff.
Get you a little Chanel bag. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, you can get you some nice stuff. I see people taking them flights. You know what I'm saying? So
yes, people still traveling. Like ain't shit going on for sure.
So yeah, just to invest in yourself and follow like your passion, because like he's in dental school. You know, I'm getting my master's right now. I'm working for Under Armour, so different part of fashion, but more sports. So kind of you know, you can be busy, you know, doing a bunch of different stuff, but like if something's your dream, something's your passion, like do it. Don't just, you know, sit back and just like wait, you know, because it's real easy to just buy stuff, be a consumer. You know, I was very comfortable just buying other people's clothes and putting people on, yo, this is dope. I got so many friends that have clothing lines, and like I've been able to watch them, and you know, they give me tips and tools, and like I'm just thinking like, dang, I know what looks good. Why don't I just, you know, do it myself? And it's just that fear to actually, you know, spend your own money, that fear to actually just who supports it. Because in your mind, you're thinking like, okay, how many people do I know? Okay, how many followers actually follow me and like most of my stuff? How many people do I talk to like on a daily basis, like weekly basis? Like, okay, they're going to buy, and never think like just because that someone's going to support you, shout you out, because those people don't owe you anything, you know? Yeah. So you kind of want that feedback. And I mean, it's been different. You know, we just took that leap of faith, and so far so good. So we're going to keep running with it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes,
and to tag off what Meech said, I think with the support, it's really surprising to hear some of the feedback. You know, a couple people will come to you, yo, bro, what's the discount looking like? Whew, I ain't feel me. You know, I only heard stories about it. I didn't know it was real. You know? So my
only heard story.
You know, if you walk into a Gucci store, you're not gonna say, hey, Mr. Gucci store worker, what's the discount today? They'll look at you stupid, like you don't deserve to be here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so don't
like,
come
get the fuck out of here.
A much lower scale and then try to denote me more. I almost feel like, you know, you disrespected my work to a point.
It's insulting.
You know?
Nah, honestly, that's a good point you bring up. Because now I'm about to get into my shit a little bit. Because, the thing is that, you know, I heard me say invest in yourself, and like, you know, people don't understand. Like, this is an investment. You know what I'm saying? I'm in the red in terms of like what I've bought, you know, for my brand and for my podcast, and in terms of what I've made, because that's what it takes in order to get to a place of capitalization and profiting. Honestly, you have to invest. But it's very insulting when people will, if I was selling a product, you know what I'm saying? I'm not selling a product. This is more so a service, I guess. But if I was selling a product like, yo, and I have people genuinely coming to me like, yo, like, what's the discount? It's like, I mean, jokingly, that's cool, but like, you know, people are serious. You know what I'm saying? Like,
very serious.
And it's like, people don't understand how much it costs. The cost for a business, or the cost for a service, a product, any of that. So they're automatically thinking a friendship is outweighing the cost that it took to even get to this point. So it's like, me giving you a discount doesn't really do anything, you know, not even from a financial standpoint, just off respect. Like, I'm giving you a quality product. You should pay the same price that anybody else pays. Now, of course, you have friends, you have family. When it gets to a point where it's stable, of course, niggas can, you know what I'm saying? Niggas can look out.
They could blast, yo.
Yeah, but when I'm coming out the gate with this shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, I have to make back my investment before I can just start giving niggas discounts. That's how you completely ruin the whole thing from the jump. So I agree 1,000%. That shit is very frustrating. I seen one of my boys, shout out to Belry. I did an episode with him. He's a dope artist, local. He does film now, also, and he was saying, like, you know, because to film something on a high end scale, like it costs a lot, and people will come to him and say, yeah, like, you know, you think I could do like $300 less than what it costs? And it's like, I mean, you're disrespecting me. This camera costs money. You know what I'm saying? My time is money. You know what I'm saying? Like, all of this is money. So, and I don't want to make things about money only, but it is insulting. Like, I just wanted to say that to your point. It's very insulting.
Everything isn't about money, but the driving force that helps us continue this business, you know what I mean? This message going is going to have to be the capital, right?
Right. Exactly. And
I think it's how you come about it, you know, because we've all been, like, if you go back in the scenarios, everyone, this Mr. Discount himself right here. Mr.
Mr. Always finding a discount. Yo.
Lowball man himself. I'm a negotiator, you know. So we go
Mr. Negotiator. Oh my God.
We go back and forth on him trying to find the lowest deals, and when we cop stuff, and he's like, "Yo, like the person might want like 400 for it, and like that's a good price, or 350 or something." And he was like, "Man, I'm gonna give him 320." And I'm like, "Bro, just get a man 350."
No,
you know what I'm saying?
My thing to add to that is, like me said, he brought the flaw to this, but I brought the reality.
Okay.
I feel like between the two of us, I'm the most realistic person here.
Okay.
Right?
Very true. He's the most realistic in the group.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
So from a business aspect, if I see that we could go elsewhere to get a lower price on our product, I'm going to do that. Because that's going to bring us back more capital and keep us funded. Now, Heath, on the other hand, if he sees 400, he might try to get the person 450. I don't know what's wrong with it. It's Mr. Generous over here.
You know? so like I'm a big, you know, we've been able to work with certain people, and you know, maybe we've gone over budget sometimes, but customer service, like I get that feeling. You know, if you give me a good feeling, you know, and hey, you might get a tip. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's customer service is key. Customer service is key.
I don't know what's been going on with me lately, but waitresses or something like that, I've really been on it. After we took that Atlanta trip, I think that's where I locked in on good service. You know what I'm saying? if you providing good service, you're gonna get a tip. You know what I'm saying? So
seriously, man. Nah, seriously, that's a good ass point, man. I'm big on customer service too. I had a bad waitress last night, for instance, and you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not tipping that type of service. I'm not. I'm sorry. Like, that's not what I'm gonna do. I know some people will be like, oh, they work for tips. Well, you should at least come correct. That's all I'm saying. Like, I don't ask for much, but if you come with a certain type of presence, or if you deliver, sure, the money's yours. But if you come and so customer service is key, I can see that. But I also know Mr. Negotiator will always find a way to like get. And you know, I'm honestly like, I know two people like that in life, and I envy it a little bit because I'm not really like that. Like, I won't really negotiate too much. Like, to me, it's like, if the product or whatever, you know, you're selling is the price, and I know that it is that price genuinely, like I've looked at the market and this is what it's selling at. All right, cool. If you're cheating me, that's different. But you know, if you're trying to oversell some shit to me, that's different. But I've never been the type of dude like, oh, the food or service was bad at the restaurant. Oh, I want to speak to the manager. I never done that. I know niggas like that, and they will get food free. And I'm like, wow, like I wish that was in me. It's just not in me. I would just be like, wow, this place is garbage. I'm never coming back.
But my thing is, some people walk into that looking for bad service, so they could get that.
Yes.
And I feel like that's one big thing that kind of scares me about to be a dentist and stuff. People are going to be walking in almost wanting you to fail so they can malpractice.
Lawsuit.
You know, I'm not paying him nothing. He's not getting anything.
I'm letting him know he's getting taxed.
He's not getting anything in my future. Nobody is getting
and commission is going to be added on top. And that's all facts.
The saddest thing, like I thought about this too. The saddest thing, you ever got a haircut from a new barber and he mess you up, and you really don't want to give him that money. You do not want to give him that money. I just cut my loss. I just give you the money. You'll never.
Me too. See, that's another perfect example.
But some people, I've seen people walk out and just say something like, "Nah, you ain't getting paid."
Bro, I've seen that, and it's just not in me to do that. I don't know. I just like, you know what, you did it, whatever. I don't like it, but I won't come back. My thing is, I'm not gonna continue to funnel money into you if you're not doing it. But I'm not gonna not pay you for that instance where you fuck me up, which you shouldn't probably get paid. But fuck it, you know what I'm saying? You did your job. It is what it is. It was a shitty job. You're never gonna see me again. But I agree with that. That's a very good point. And I also will say Atlanta taught me, man, to when good service is provided, let me compliment you well. But when ducks are around, you know what I'm saying? Treat you the way you
treat some Georgia peaches, you know?
Right. Like, if you're a Georgia peach and you present yourself lovely and delicate, you know what I'm saying? Hey, the world is yours. But when you want to be a duck, you want to flap around and shit all over the place, man, get out of here.
Heavy on the flaps, though. I got nothing heavy on the flaps.
Oh my God. Hey, man, I wish I would have been able to make that Houston trip look fire, because Houston looks like a good place for me personally. Like, you know, once I did Atlanta, I said, okay, I wanted to go somewhere else too. But Houston seems like my type of environment. So
I think I need to get a house in Houston. I need to get some real estate.
I don't think Houston's the wrong place for anybody. You know
I don't think it's the wrong place for anyone.
You know, if you want to have a good time and, you know what I mean, a cheap time as well.
See, and that's the Southern shit in general, man. Like, it like living where we live, bro. Like, I feel like the sky's the limit for us because it's like we know like how expensive shit is. So when we go to Southern, so like even when I went to the beach like a month ago, that was in South Carolina, but everything was cheaper. The stay was cheaper. Like, you know what I'm saying? You get an Airbnb out here, like it's costing you 3-4 times as much. Like everything is cheaper in the South, man. So like us coming from like up north in Maryland, where you know people do make a decent amount of salaries and cost of living is higher. Anywhere else we go, it always looks to us like, oh, this is easily affordable. You know what I'm saying?
It's different. So like, and I mean, they look at you different, but definitely when you go out there, you throw a little money. You know, it's gonna go a long way. So I mean, you go out there with a nice little pocket, you know, a little paycheck.
Yes. A little Trump buck.
Little Trump. You know what I mean? That Trump buck would do. That Trump buck, you live great off that Trump buck out there for a weekend.
Yeah. Wow, a little MAGA money. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, that
I
man
need
said,
that other Trump check though.
I was just about to say that man.
Give me my check, yeah.
He said there was another one coming. I haven't seen it. I don't know. Did it?
That second drop till we get that second check.
Nah, man. Shout out to just shout out to all the people out there right now for real during this pandemic. I know this shit is tough. We making light of it, but this shit is definitely rough. But you know, everybody like we were saying, you know, if you got flaws, if you feel some type of way, you know what I'm saying, just embrace it. Don't hide from it. You know, take it on. You know, talk to somebody who can understand. You know what I'm saying? We definitely going to embrace you. And this brand particularly is going to embrace it. You know what I'm saying? They told y'all they looking for somebody who's, you know what I'm saying, just flaws, but they embracing it and
looking for Meg.
Yeah, like man,
a Meg will be ideal.
I feel like Meg needs a hug anyway right now.
Hug. Like see, and when you see the joints that need hugs, right now. Yeah, I was about to say a hug will go a long way for certain people. Honestly, a hug is like
and the gloves.
Yeah,
a hug and a t-shirt. You know, give her a hug and a t-shirt. You know,
dang, a hug and a tee.
I mean, y'all might have to give Meg the discount. You know what I'm saying? Because like you're gonna return a lot of bread from her.
Off my back.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Off my back. Her return, y'all's return off her is gonna be crazy in just so many different ways. But nah, shout out to Meg for real. How do y'all feel about that Tory situation, honestly?
You know, I want to get the facts, but I believe what Meg said. I'm gonna believe Meg take his side, but I do want to see the official facts.
I agree.
I ain't got nothing negative to say about it. You know, we want the facts. We stand with Meg, but
we want the facts.
We want the facts. If I still want to bump some Chinks tape, am I wrong?
I do. I'm a big Tory fan. Oh well, yeah. Yes, I'm a big Tory fan until you know the facts are definitively stated. But yes. I will say, if he did shoot her, there is no excuse for that. You know, like you can't really.
Excuse. He definitely shot her. There's no excuse.
Right.
Can you separate the music from the man? Can you separate that?
So I say yes to that in a lot of circumstances, but there are exceptions. R. Kelly for me, right? I can't separate because he's talking about what he was doing to people through the music. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's weird if you really go back and listen to it. You know what I'm saying? Like, my mind's telling me no, but my body, that you could take and run with it and be like, hold on, this nigga is tripping. Marrying Aaliyah before she's even 16, I believe. Like, it's a lot of weird shit going on with him, right? So I can't separate the two.
That's
but to your point, I do like to separate the because a lot of these rappers and they're weird. They are like they're into weird shit that we probably wouldn't condone. So, but this shooting a girl shit, I have never I don't know, man. That's very different to me.
See, my big thing is I feel like a lot of people separate Kanye outside of the music from Kanye in the music. Kanye, they separate Kanye's music and fashion from Kanye.
True.
You know what I mean? A lot of people are like, yo, I hate Kanye. Next day they wear Yeezys. So I'm a little perplexed here. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah, I agree. That's a good point. I think it's fair to do that if, like you said, if you don't really like him, but you like his clothing. I mean, okay, sure. Or if you like his music, but you don't like what his point of views and his ideologies. Okay, cool. But it gets to a point where as men, especially black men, like I got more aware to this during this pandemic. We can't continuously just like support shit that don't need to be like, I feel like we support a lot of toxic shit, you know, sometimes, or we don't really call out the people that need to be called out. And I think this Tory Meg situation really woke my eyes up. If this were a white woman, bro, I definitely feel like things would have been treated a lot differently. Like if Taylor Swift got shot, bro, by Justin Bieber, you know what I'm saying? Like this wouldn't even be like, they wouldn't even still be investigating. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on now. Like they would have got this nigga out of here.
I don't know if they would have got Justin Bieber out of here. Maybe someone else.
I'm just using a white man on white woman. Yeah, I'm just two big white names. However you look at it, I do think the black woman is highly disrespected,
underappreciated. Yeah,
unappreciated. You know, a lot of things that they do are just, you know, not like you said, unappreciated and really just taken for granted. Yeah. So, you know, hopefully the story does come out because this nigga hasn't said anything, which. Tory, I'm saying, seems like he's fucking guilty as fuck, so he don't really want to say anything. But I do want to bump some Tory music and not feel away. But right now, I try to separate. If he come on and I really fuck with the song, I just let it rock. You know what I'm saying? Whatever.
And my whole thing is, you might have to separate Tory from his brand or whatever. But with us, I feel like I really want what you guys to associate us with our brand, associate us with our message. You know, so.
Yeah, I definitely think we want people to kind of get to know us more. So that's something we definitely want to show more of ourselves, you know, because I think you buy from someone necessarily you like more so. So you talk about Kanye as an example, right? You know, avid Kanye supporters, you know, so it's a lot of people that buy whatever he puts out just because he's putting it out. It don't matter what it looks like.
It don't matter what it looks like.
He's put out some trash. If we're being real, he's put out some trash.
Thank you. That's what I be telling this nigga, man.
Not fire. Everything is not fire.
He puts out a lot. You know what I mean? When you put out a lot, there's going to be a couple misses here. Everything's not going to be
for sure. Sure.
Some of his albums have been questionable, but we
very questionable.
We still support him.
But to your point, I agree. If the person has bought into the brand itself and the creators, they'll continue to support. You know what I'm saying? And Nipsey's brand, rest in peace to that, to a legend. That's a perfect example. You know, people bought into it. His brand a lot after he died, of course, but just because he was so powerful and so impactful while he was here. You know, people die all the time. A lot of people, their life don't live on like the way that maybe his, you know, his spirit lived on. So if you buy into the creator and you buy into the brand itself, it's always going to sell. So now y'all on the right, you know what I'm saying? Y'all on the right path. Like, that's why I really, and that's another thing about price, right? Like, I don't mind paying an absurd amount of money for something that is quality in all aspects, not just like the material, like the message, the creators, the intent, like everything is quality. It's not just like you just, because, you know, people will sell you anything for any price and be like, you know, this is a t-shirt off my back or whatever. I'm selling this to you for, like, niggas will sell you anything for any price. So when it's quality, I don't ever even care about the price. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, okay, cool. $50, $70, like, it's a lot, but ask yourself, what are you really paying for? Are you paying for just that shirt, or are you paying for more? Like, what does it stand for? So
so that's something we definitely wanted to kind of get out there, because when we were first coming up, we know how much we spend on something. So obviously you got to make your profit, etc. Right. But we kind of looked at the market. Okay, they're charging this, they're charging that. And you still get people, we talked about discounts, people coming at us like, oh, you got $45, $50 shirts. You know what I'm saying? Why aren't they like $30? And people trying to devalue you, you know, but they'll buy other people's stuff with less on it. You know what I'm saying? So obviously if you got multiple colors, if you got different fabrics, it's going to cost a little more. You know, even the packaging we have for certain stuff, it's going to cost a little more because we're trying to provide all that. So, I mean, we got this giveaway going on because we definitely want to give people stuff that invested in us, you know. So we're going to keep stuff like that going on, and definitely, you know, that would be our way. Eventually we'll do discounts and stuff, but we kind of got to grow first, you know. We got to get
grow.
And like, if you want a discount, like, I remember asking for discounts from certain people. It's like, what value are you bringing for the discount? So if we're talking like, you got this type of following maybe, or maybe so like you're buying in so much quantity, you got a bundle and you put this person on that, then maybe we got a discussion to talk about.
For sure.
So I think it's just how you approach it. You know?
That's a good business approach.
If you can help us and we can help you, then we definitely gonna make that happen.
That's what I'm trying to say. Like, you got to crawl before you ball. And I feel like a lot of people think we just coming out the gate balling. You know what I mean?
Right. True.
You know?
Man, that's a whole nother rant, honestly, but I won't even go too far into that. But Instagram, man, don't believe everything you see. That's all I'm gonna say.
Social media fool you.
A bum could be driving a Benz, and a rich person mentally could be driving a Honda. You know what I'm saying? So it could be, it's different.
And to add to Misha's point with the whole giveaway and stuff, that goes into our next drop that we have coming in probably late October, early November. And that's going to be our whole false perceptions type line. You know, I bet a lot of people have a lot of false perceptions about themselves. People cast false personas on the other people.
That's
and
dope.
For this next drop, we kind of want to, you know what I mean?
I like that. I like that a lot. Yeah, man. I mean, I'm bought in, you know what I'm saying? Not even because, you know, I fuck with y'all. You know, I've known Tay for a long ass time. But I really just like the brand in general, honestly. Like it just, you know, like now you talking about the false perceptions. Like, see, everything to me has meaning so far from what I've heard from y'all. Like, so it's not like you're just buying it just because, oh, my man's doing this, so I'm just gonna support it. Like if you really do see a vision there, or you really, you know, support what they're doing, of course. Like, and false perceptions is another relatable thing, like to a lot of people. Like social media has created a billion false perceptions. You know what I'm saying? And everybody also, I was talking to Derek about this the other day, no one's really unique in terms of like dressing anymore. Like everybody wants to dress the same. Like in that League Fits page, like pages like that do kind of fuck things up because people look at like their idol and they're like, oh, I gotta dress like this. So there's no uniqueness, there's no diversity. It's like everybody just, oh, let me go get Balenciaga and Dior, and it's just, you know, Micah Mary Jean. It's just always like all the same. There's no uniqueness to it. So that's why it's like I'm trying to wear shit that people don't even really not onto at this point, because everything is hype beast. Like when we used to say that in high school, that was a term, but it's like gone to another level now.
It's real. It's real. It's been there. So I mean, you got to think. We kind of consider ourselves storytellers, and that's like the journey each drop. So just not to go too deep in each thing. We all wearing different shirts, so I like the unity going on. But you think about what it means. What it means to be flawed. So you got the essential shirt on right there. You know. Imperfect. That's kind of the first word that comes to me when I say flawed. There's synonyms, you know. Who are the chosen people? You know, back going biblical, you know, the imperfect, the flawed people. Those were the people that, you know, Jesus surrounded himself around. You know, those are God's people. You know, you go into the Through the Fire shirt. Literally, we were burning the world up. We've been through the fire during this, you know, this whole Corona, you know, Black Lives Matter, like so much going on. Like the world it feels like it's on fire. And how we're able to get through it and battling through it. Then you got the Crooked Smile shirt where, you know, sometimes, you know, you kind of got to smile through it all, you know, in adversity, through stuff going on. You might have a frown on a smile, but you got to keep that smile going even, you know, when times is hard, you know. So we kind of want to embody everything for each drop. So now false perceptions, we're just going to show more of that. And then after that, you know, hopefully we got some stuff for the winter coming. So we're going to try to go back to back real quick.
Yeah, man. Nah, I mean, this is just a good business plan, business model, great brand. You know, and I'm not just saying this because I'm biased, man. This is really dope. I think y'all got some definitely cooking up, and I honestly feel like the more you can go and talk about like what all these things mean and what the flawed reality means and what it means to you and what you want it to mean to others and how you want people to embrace like I feel like it's just going to resonate with people. So I think y'all got something, you know, really special. So continue to, you know, keep growing. Y'all doing y'all thing, man. And I really appreciate y'all honestly coming on here. I appreciate every guest I have because, you know, you'd be surprised how many people don't want to come on a podcast and talk because people don't realize like the things they think. They don't want to spew that out there on a public platform because they don't know how that's going to sit with people, or they might not, you know, confidently feel that way on a public platform, but privately, okay, yeah, I'll say this, I'll say that. So, you know, I appreciate y'all coming on here and talking y'all shit and promoting y'all brand, man. I definitely do. Any last things, fellas, you know what I'm saying, before we wrap it up?
Nah, just one last thing to add to your point where you said people don't really want to spew their ideas on the web and everything. That's because we're in serious cancel culture right now. Yes. And I feel like one big thing we're trying to spread is like you can't really cancel this movement that we're starting. Okay. We're starting a movement for you to embrace your reality. You know what I mean? In cancel culture, you can't cancel us. You can't cancel this message.
Sheesh.
That's a big fact. Hey, man, that's a powerful statement too.
So definitely to add on and the note to end, I really wanted to end on like a question, you know. So we definitely want to, you know, have conversations if people get a chance. Definitely look in the story on the website. You can read each drop, definitely has a story to it under each description. So I mean, if y'all want to read, you know, get a little reading in. But yeah, other than that, I would just ask you, what's your biggest flaw?
My biggest.
I'll put you on the spot real quick.
Yeah, man. I've owned a lot of my flaws. And if you've known me for a while, like people, I don't know. I feel like people would know what. I don't know. I think this is an interesting question, right? Because you have the flaw that like maybe others see of you, and then you have the flaw that you know of yourself, like internally. I would say I feel like I have to prove that like I'm equally as smart or like knowledgeable as others sometimes. Like I feel like all like middle school, a little bit of high school, I was never a big GPA dude. You know what I'm saying? Like Tay, Derek, like they was very more so like, like my GPA, like I could care less. You know what I'm saying? Like as long as niggas is okay, cool, right? So I never let a GPA define me, right? Because that's like a number. It's associated with how smart you are. I don't believe none of that shit. There's a bunch of billionaires who didn't even graduate, you know, undergrad, you know what I'm saying? So it don't really define you, but I always was pressured by that. So sometimes I would be like, well, why don't you care about, you know, that? Are you not as smart as them? Like, can you not dedicate yourself to your studies like that? Or even outside of school, like with my brand, I had to take that leap, like you said, take that leap of faith and invest in myself. So it was like, don't just talk about it, be about it. Like you have the time, you have the money, like we're young and, you know, working, like you'll never have as much time and money as you do right now to do something that you really want to do. I mean, you might have more money later, but you might have a family then. You might have more responsibilities then. So right now is the time to do things. So I think my flaw really was just challenging myself. Like, am I equal? Like, I feel like that sometimes I would question myself in that. I've definitely overcome that though. And I battle with it sometimes for sure, but I think I'm good. And then I will say my other flaw was when I was younger, before I got my teeth fixed. Shout out to Dr. Wilson, you know what I'm saying? Black dentist, you know what I'm saying? Go get at him. Great guy. I had terrible teeth in high school, you know what I'm saying? Me and Tay both, honestly, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
niggas is all fuck. Yeah, man, that glow up is crazy, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna talk my shit now because my shit is straight, but you know, but that was a big flaw. I'm not gonna hold you, man. Like that fucked me up like throughout high school. I didn't really ever say that to nobody, but it definitely fucked with me. Like confidence, all time low at high school. All time low.
I feel like, bro, me and you both definitely glowed up from high school. High school was an ugly time for a lot of people.
Bruh, it was so ugly.
It was a time of you just figuring out yourself, figuring out your body, you know?
But you know what, though? Like, the reason why I fuck with Tay so hard, because, like, niggas would just always, like, we will always be to get, like, through our flaws, literally, we didn't look at each other different. Like, I felt like other people were so judgmental, but, like, I never felt too judged by Tay or really judge. If it was, like, we would joke on each other jokingly, but it wasn't like, you know, other people was out to hurt motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? So, like, but now it's like
that's what turned us into those sort of people. I feel like people trying to bully us will turn us into the bullies. You know? So,
hey, man, anti-bullying, man. Nobody bully people. You know what I'm saying? Everybody love each other.
No, for real.
Yeah, man. But good question, though. I like that. I like when guests come on and ask me questions because I'm always asking questions. You know what I'm saying? Challenge me. You know what I'm saying? So good question.
Good question too, Tay. We could both just throw it out there.
Sure. Mike actually gave my two biggest ones. I feel like me being in dental school right now, it's like, am I worthy? You know what I mean? Am I smart enough to be here? Am I good enough? Am I competent enough to be, you know what I mean, someone's future dentist?
Right.
You know what I mean? Mike put in, you know what I mean, their mouth, their healthcare in my hands. You know what I mean? I'm like, dang, that's a lot of responsibility. Yeah. And I feel sometimes I doubt myself on that. So I'll probably say my biggest flaw right now is probably doubt.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, and that makes sense. Everybody has doubts, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, for me, I would definitely say it's being an overthinker. I'm a perfectionist and I'm constantly in my head. I think I'm, you know, shallow a lot, you know, and I'm judgmental a lot. So I kind of have that in myself where, like, I think people are always judging me. So, like, sometimes like I shouldn't even care what I'm wearing, but sometimes I'm like, oh, they might see me here. They might see this in the back of my head. Like little small details, like where you always just want to be on your stuff, on your P's and Q's. So, and then just even with this clothing line, it's kind of freed me to kind of feel imperfect, feel flawed, and accept that, because at the end of the day, we all got it. So I don't have that much pressure. This is just me doing. I think before, it's like I tried to do this in college and overthink. Oh, it's got to be this way. It's got to be this. We got to be on this level, et cetera, et cetera. Just do it. Just do it. And if it's supposed to be, it's going to be. Just trust the process. So that's where we are with it now.
That's a good point. Also, I want to just add, I am also an overthinker. I never looked at it as a flaw, but it definitely is. You know, sometimes you just overthink things that sometimes you just got to go with the flow. You know what I'm saying? Go with the flow, let it happen. And that's why that goes back to my social media savviness. Like, that's like, I don't really have anxiety with too many things, but I would say anxiety does for me come from that, because like I don't know sometimes how to go about it. You know, I kind of just like to put out good quality content, good quality product, service, whatever it may be, and put it out and let the people receive it how they receive it. And when you pushing something from the ground up, marketing is like the biggest thing. So, you know, it's difficult sometimes, but overthinking has got me to a point sometimes where I'm like, I don't know how to say this, or, you know, I've spent days before. This is why I don't do social media. I spent days thinking about a fucking caption. I'm like, that's like
real, though. That's real,
bruh. Like that, but that's sick as fuck. Like that blows me that it would even get to that point. So sometimes I gotta detach myself from social media, because I don't even want that type of. If I'm thinking days on a fucking caption, bro, like I could be spending that mental power somewhere else. Like that shit is crazy. So that's why I'm like, man, this social media shit is too powerful. Like I be deleting it off and on. Like I try not to get on it sometimes at all, because it's just powerful. But yeah, back to your point, what I was trying to say is just overthinking, man. It definitely, I would say it's a blessing and a curse. One of my friends told me that before. Like he was like you're one of the smartest people I know, but like you overthink so much, like sometimes it can be like your downfall. And I'm like, wow, that's a fact.
So, right. And that's what all flaws got beauty in them. So
true. Very true. All right, fellas. Well, you know what, man? I'm gonna say this before we wrap up, man. This was a dope ass episode. I say this every episode, but this is really cool. Like, I never introduced nobody else's brand besides my own. So, except for the artist profiles that I did. But shout out to, you know, y'all for coming on here. This was really fun. You know, like I said, this is like therapy to me. So I really appreciate y'all coming on here. I really do. You know, I will tag y'all on all the posts. When I get this edited and uploaded, it'll go on Spotify, it'll go on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, shout out to y'all. I really do appreciate it. I just want to say that one time before we wrap up.
And I feel like one last thing to wrap it up. I'm gonna leave a question for the audience. You know, what's your biggest flaw? What is your flaw that kind of holds you back sometimes, but you can kind of see some sort of beauty in it? When you find that out, feel free to DM us, comment under our pictures.
Yeah, we're gonna drop that with the you know, when I post all of this on social media, we'll drop the question with the post. But yes, sir, guys, I appreciate y'all. Hey, everybody listening, everybody watching, you know, this is Subtle Impact Podcast. We have Flawed Reality come on here and introduce their brand. You know, of course, the usual: like, comment, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. You know what I'm saying? Tell your mom, tell your sister, tell your cousins. Come check us out, man. You know, we talking good shit, and we got good guests, and we got a great host too. But with no further ado, man, appreciate y'all. I'ma holler at y'all. I really do appreciate it. And we out.
And that's love, Brody.
All right, baby. Appreciate y'all, man.